Welcome, my dear champions. So let's quickly get started with HTML5 and CSS3 for beginners. We're still somehow beginners. We'll be starting intermediate levels soon. Part number 14 of the class, right? And we will be doing something different today. We'll be applying what we have learned in a very nice design. So we'll be trying to create a very good design, right? So you come so far, but yeah, let me remind you that watching videos and practicing while watching videos is not going to help. You have to use your own creativity, so it's because of your creativity will you be able to develop something good, and you'll get used to it. So you'll face some problems initially, but once you are used to the code, right, and you get used to, and you get professional as well. So you want to be experienced, right? So experience comes with work. So it depends on you, the amount of work you increase, and you try and copy some designs and try and see some latest features, all right? You may end up creating a site, or you may end up creating a design that is better than anyone, better than your teacher or your instructor who's showing you. You never know those things, right? Okay, so let me minimize it and let's get going with the design we had so far created, but this time we are going to create something pretty different. So I will go to I'll create a new HTML document right here, right, and I'll save this in the same file or in the same folder that we have already created, and name it as, right, I'll name it as home. All right, so we are creating a home page today, and we don't require this junk in here. So everything here is literally not required. You know that it's not required, right? So because we are not developing an XHTML website, what are we doing? We are developing a very nice, we can say, HTML5 website. So it's not an XHTML. So this all junk is going to be deleted till here, right? And this is your doc type, and doc type is going to be HTML. So this is where we start, and this is going to be small doc type HTML. So it is better that we create something different. While creating something different, we also revise it, right? Okay. All right. So HTML tag uses lang, which is English. We're English speaking, right? And head and footer and every single thing. And meta, actually we don't require it here like we used to have it earlier, right? Okay, but yeah, if you want, you can go ahead with every single thing. Char set is equal to UTF. It's already having char set is equal to UTF-8. Content type, I'll just shorten it. So I'll say meta char set is equal to UTF-8, and this is your title. So I will name it, for example, interface, whatever you want, you can do that. And this is the closing head, and this is going to be the body, and this is the HTML. You're already aware of all the things right here. Now let me quickly go and create a link, right? Or let me quickly go and create a new CSS file, right? And let me quickly go and save this in styles, and let me call this as default.css. Right, so it's already having one CSS file, default.css. So I'll create styles styles.css. I'll name it styles. I don't know what is going wrong here. So I'll say styles styles, and I call this as style.css. Now we are done. But we have to create a link. I'll type link relative is equal to style sheet, and the link is going to be href, and we have to choose the link which is style, which is inside the styles folder, style.css, and I'll also say type is equal to text/css just for cross-browser compatibilities, right? Now then we have done it. So I will, instead of going to index, I'll go to home.html. And now this is my blank home.html. Let me take it separately. I'll separate it, and you can see the title interface right here. So I'll be doing many different things, right, which we have not done in the past. And yeah, what we have learned in the past is also going to repeat. Doesn't mean we are not going to do anything new, rather, right? So you know that we are going to do new things, and plus we are going to do old things as well, right? And to do new things, we know that we had something here. So we'll go with something known as div id, that is a wrapper. Alright, so I'll go with the wrapper. I'll just show you the design, right? And rest you can do yourself, right? And inside the wrapper, you already know that we had header, right? And we had inside header, all right, we had what do you call that as some h1 tag. So we're not going to use h1 tag today, right here, right? And I am going to do something else today also. I will define another div, right? So I'll say div id is equal to top head. So it's going to be outside the wrapper. It's modern style web 2.0, and this is also going to have a header tag, right? So this is also going to have a header tag. So let me quickly go and start styling what we have learned so far, right? So I will just simply go and I'll say star, that I want every single thing in this website, right, to have the following things. What are those following things? Please reduce the margin. So I have reduced the margin to 0. There is some margin, and there is supposed to be padding also. So everything has padding 0 and margin 0. So I will also do h1, right, and I'll also target HTML, right, and I will download a very beautiful font today, right? I could have downloaded and saved time, but yeah, I just want it to be more natural, right? So I'll say download font, right, awesome, right? So you can go to font awesome, right, or we can say download fonts for web site, right? So you can find many different websites where you can download these fonts. So by the time it comes, we are going to continue with the styling, right? So I will style my h1, I will style my h2, and the third thing that I'll be doing, anchor tag, I'll style my anchor tag as well. So I'll just open it. So I'll say all the anchor tags have list style, so I'll say none. Whenever you use that ahref, it gives you that underline and overline, not overline, underline, right? So I'm just removing it, and I'll keep consistent color here, or maybe we'll define the color ourselves, right? And h2 is going to have font size of 14 pixels. As you know, yours can differ, right? Yours can easily differ, and this is going to have font size of 20 pixels, right? And HTML is going to have something, and body is going to use something right here. Alright, so let me take a look at fonts. Okay, now we have some fonts right here. Okay, so download fonts for website. We have some Google fonts here, right? And we have fonts for web.com also giving us some fonts. Let me check it, and while checking, let me complete my CSS. And you know that since we are going to use box layout, right, and for that we are going to use the flexible model, right? For that we have to do many different changes as well, and you are already aware of those changes, right? I will say I want my header tag, right, number 1, all the sections that I use, section tag, footer tag, right, aside tag, navigation tag, article tag, and h group tag, or maybe you may add few more tags, right? So I want everything to be to have this what do you call that as display. I want to display them as block items, right, not inline items, right? So now we are having these fonts here. Now see which font do you like more, right? So I need something very elegant and very light, right, so that it just describes our website in a very good way. Very light is something that I want, right? And let me see what is more lighter here, right? I need to see that first, right? Or I need to find it first, right? So lighter font, right? So it should be good. I think this one is also good, all right? Okay, fine, it's good, I suppose, right? And I think this is also good. All right. So let me find it. It often takes, usually it takes more time to find something, you know, because you're doing a choice here. So choice may take a bit of time. So maybe you have liked something, right? So I like this, so let me not waste time. And you can download as per your own likings. What you have liked can be downloaded, so you can see this. What style do you want? I want a lighter but a darker style. So now I'll go this, select this style. Alright, and you can see this here. I selected this style, and yours can differ as well. So, but yeah, since I selected this, I'll say download. Now I have started downloading the font, and by the time font gets downloaded, there are many more websites you can download. You already know how to download and how to use the font, so I'm not going to waste much of your time. So I'll go ahead, and you can see it has given me lots and lots of fonts right here. It has given me light, it has given me italic, it has given me. Now if you're having many fonts, then how do you define font face for them? And that is also a question. Alright, and for that I'll go to my fonts, and I will unpack all the fonts right here. So now we have this. Right? Okay. Let me create it here. After this, I can go on top, and I will define. Now you remember that what do we define for fonts, right? If you remember, right, so then that's not a problem. So I'll say font, right? So I will say font dash face. Alright, so I'll say font dash face, and I'll define my font face, and I will name it font family. So I am going to name it, and dogs have started eating each other. They don't have food these days, so I'm not going to pause the video, let them eat each other. This is something Tilenium, T-I-T. Let me call this as titanium. I don't know what the font name is. It's hard to pronounce, but yeah, I call this as titanium. So this is what we are going to call this now. So I'll say source. Now I will choose the source URL, and which is going to be inside fonts, and I am going to choose italic. So we have light, we have regular. So I will choose Titanium R, which is going to be, or we'll say font regular. So I'll choose this font regular. So I call this as font regular, right? And this is the font face defined, right? So now I'll define another font face here, another font face here, and I will choose another TTF file right here. So I'll say I want to choose some other URL for, I have chosen light. Now did I choose light? No, I haven't chosen light. So I call this as font light. So this is going to be my font light, and this is going to be my font something that I have no idea about. So let me choose it and then tell you how many font styles can you define. You have extra light, so I'll say font EXTRALIGHT. So we have font light, font regular, and font extra light. And let me define few more font faces here. Alright, so let me define more. So I will go and I will choose extra light, and we have light italic, semi bold. So let me choose semi bold. It is actually semi bold, and I will choose bold. I don't want to get all. If you want, you can get all and try one by one, because you'll have all the time in the universe. I don't have. I just have to get going with the class, right? So otherwise, I would end up spending the entire class selecting fonts, right? So now fonts regular and every single thing that we have already done. Let me have something in here so that we understand what are we doing. Hello, this is nothing but a font test, and I hope you would love this dash dash, right? That's it. All right. So now I will go to my HTML, or I can choose body and HTML. Both will have the common font, right? That is going to be font. So that's going to be my font family. That is font, right? Or we can say LIGHT, light. So we've chosen font light, and if I go to my website, you can see that now the light font has come, right? It's much too lighter. I may choose regular. We have defined regular, REGULAR. Regular is also there. Okay, now you can see this is much clear. And we have font. We have semi-bold and bold. So let me see bold. If I call bold, yeah, it is coming bold. So I think regular is going to work for us. And the default font size for the body is going to be 14 pixels, if I'm not wrong. No, 14 is, for this case, is going to be very small. 18 pixels, yeah, it looks much better. So the font section is closed, font family is defined, and header is defined, display is blocked. I suppose every single thing is working nice, right? So we're going moving in a nice direction, except from the fact that you do not have an idea of what I have done with some different things, right? Okay, wrapper. So I'll say wrapper, and I'll say body. Now body is the first thing that is going to take my width as 100%, and I'll say, hey body, you are going to be box. So I'll say dash webkit dash box, right? So it's going to be webkit box. So display is going to be box layout. So I'll say dash webkit dash box, right, dash pack. So I'll say box pack is going to be center aligned, right? So this is done. And now I'll go to my wrapper, and I will use, right, maximum width. I told you that it has to be maximum width, so that the minimum is automatically taken. So I will say 1000 or let me say 1200 pixels. And let me say margin, or let me first do one thing, background. So let me call background. So I'll say background color is equivalent to white, which is FFF. You can choose background, or you can choose background color as FFF. Right, I'll go to body now, and I'll say, hey body, you have chosen the font, but I want your background color, or I want you to have background which is going to be the background that I like. I love this lighter gray. There has to be a bit of shade, so we don't require too much of shade here. Alright, so yeah, now you can see the background color is there. Alright, and my wrapper is having pixels, right? And I'll say, hey wrapper, height, I'll say minimum height. Even if you don't give height, it's going to automatically adjust, but yeah, I just want to see that difference, so that's why. My god, what is height? Minimum height is 40 pixels, and minimum width, maximum width is 1200, and something unusual has happened. I do not know what is wrong here. Minimum height is 40 pixels. Now, is it 40 pixels? No, it is not. By no means it is 40 pixels. So it's taking something that I have not closed. Let me see something that I have not closed, perhaps. Font face, font face, font face, font face, margin 0, body, and HTML. So I will just choose HTML here instead of choosing entire body. But still, why is it coming? Like, is it 1200 pixels? Maybe, who knows? If I increase it, and if I say 100 pixels, and then what is 100 pixels? Yeah, it is basically taking the maximum width, right? And minimum is taken automatically now, because yeah, that's absolutely fine. All right, so I will say width is going to be taken automatically, so I'll give margin, so it's absolutely fine because I'm giving maximum width, right? So I'll say margin. Let me give margin here. I will give margin, let's say about from top I want 20 pixels, and I want automatic from all four sides. Right now you can see that it has created a bit of space as well, and I want it to have display same, so I'll copy and paste, right? What I have chosen for body will be chosen for here. Okay, but we have the box pack right here, and the wrapper is going to be back box pack rather than box OR. It's going to choose box orientation, which is vertical align. So I am going to align everything which is inside vertically, right? So I'll say dash WebKit dash flex, right? So box flex, I'm keeping the flexible model property true right here. All right, so okay, so now you can see the moment you say vertical align, so it is going to take the maximum width. Now you can see, all right, so they have to use, because flexibility is there. Now you can see, if you don't choose, it's the maximum width. How is your wrapper going to take minimum width? The moment you say, right, you need to be flexible. So the moment you say flexible, it's going to go flexible up to the extent possible, but not more than 1200 pixels. So that is what it is going till, right? It's not going to be more than that. So that's absolutely understood. Now you have to remember two things. If you are giving minimum width of 200 or anything, like if you give 1000, so it's not going to display the moment you give it, right? So I was purposefully showing you this error, all right? And the moment you say that I am keeping your flexible model property to, it is going to go flexible till the full width. Unless you say flexible, it's not going to take full. Right now you can see margin is still there, right? So now this part is done. Only wrapper part is done, right? And now we have to do certain things that we didn't do previously. So we have this top head. So I will directly go to this top head, right? I'll say, hey top head, you have some responsibilities, right? And I will call this top head, and I will also say that what you got to do is you got to take maximum width as 100% and maximum height, so I'm giving you maximum height as 150 pixels, and I will choose a background color for this, which is going to be maybe something grayish, may look something, I don't know, but yeah, let's try some different colors, because I have some theme in my picture that I want to show you guys yet. So let me go ahead and choose something pretty subtle. Alright, so I am going to just go against the background shadow which is already there. Right, so now okay, top head maximum width is 100%, right, and we have to keep the flexible property true so that it takes that maximum width. Okay, and now I'll go to top head, right, and it has header. Okay, so I'll target top head dash header, right, directly. So I'll say top hash dash header. Right, so let me for the sake give 100% width, right, and background is not coming. Yeah, and so let me write something in here so that we know whether it's coming or not. So I'll say hello. Yeah, now see where it's coming. So now, yeah, absolutely, I want it there only, right? And now why isn't it taking? Width is 100%, so let me get rid of this flexible property. So I will say height is 150 pixels. Now it's taking right from here. Now you can see this, it's already taken. So okay, and what if I give it same properties as I had given to wrapper? So it's going to come over the wrapper, right? So that is where the tension is. So if I go to top head directly, right, now you can see it started to come. All right, so top head is having width of 100%, and height is 150 pixels, and background is gray, and okay, and I will keep it on top. Alright, I will say that you go and take your flexible property as true. Right, so now see where it is coming and see where it's coming from. So I will say for that I'll do this. So I will use vertical line, and I want them to, because we have already used the box property right here, and I want this to be also box so that it comes at the right place, but it is not coming. I can see where my side is going from this side. Okay, so now it's absolutely fine. WebKit box flex property is equal to 1, so let me terminate it. Okay, still it's not coming, so let me see now what is problem here. Yeah, so unless I keep it flexible, it's not coming. So if I say float left, yeah, now you can see one side is coming from this side and another section is coming from that side. Doesn't look what I wanted it to be, but you're going to face these problems initially, right? So you will face these problems. Now you can see that if you wanted to take 100% area, right, and then you want this to come after this, right? For that, if I go to my body and if I just delete these two properties, and now you can see that everything has fitted in, right? So now okay, so I'll say box back center is not required. Yeah, so display WebKit box, so it's also displayed. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll just take this property away. Body will have only width 100% and box back center, so everything else is fine. So let me see now. Top header is there and everything else is here, so it's fine, absolutely fine, so we don't have any problem. Alright then, so I'll go and keep it 100 pixels instead of 150 pixels. I will keep rather 80 pixels rather than, yeah, 80 pixels looks much better for me. Maybe 75 pixels, finalize it. Right, so 75 pixels is finalized. I'll say border bottom 1 pixels solid hash triple C, right? So it's going to look, right, you can see it's looking just like embossed, something like that. So I don't want this hello, it was just to see the appearance, right? So now we are done with this part also, and I don't want margin of my body also. So I'll say, hey, margin auto wrapper, you need to have your margin auto. Now you can see it's coming exactly where it should be, right? Alright, then everything is fine, so we don't have any problem here. Alright, so now the only matter of the fact is that it's not going to take the available width. Why? Because what we have done here, we have just deleted the property which is display WebKit box for the body. Alright, so that is where the problem is, right? So I don't mind it, so I say it's absolutely fine for me as long as you're flexible, so I have no problem at all. Let me say minimum dash height of 400 pixels so that I know what is happening right here. Yeah, and I'll give this border also, so I'll say border 1 pixel solid hash triple C again, right? So this is also given, and I'll say border border dash top. I don't want any top border, so I'll say border dash top is equal to none, right? So I'll get rid of top border so that it doesn't overlap with this, right? So it should not overlap. Okay, or maybe I think it was better to give 20 pixels margin from, maybe 30 pixels margin from top side. Yeah, it's always better. Now it's good. Now this is my top bar, and this is absolutely fine. So everything is looking fine. We don't have to worry about things, right? Alright, now so let me carry on and go to this inside the wrapper div now, and now you already know what is inside the wrapper div. Alright, we have section, right? Yeah, and we have aside. So let me have one aside and one section, right? So I'll say section. So right section is going to be here, So I'll use this section, so there's no problem. All right, and inside section I would like to take many different things. Right, and that is going to be my let's call this that this section will remain. Last time when we made that flexible model, I said this section, the section that I am going to make, right, so it is going to be inside a div, which is a division. So I'll say it's going to be inside a div content, right, div. So I'll say it's going to be inside content div. All right, and this section can have as many articles as you want, right, but I will use an image today. All right, and the second thing that we did the previous time was maybe article, or maybe, yeah, aside. So this is section, and this is my aside. I'll show you a different way today. I don't want you to write everything. I want you to design a layout first and then start writing whatever you have to write. So I will call this aside. Let me call this as sidebar. So this aside is going to be my sidebar now, right? And it is going to have, okay, let me have some image, but yeah, I will have it later. First we do that. Okay, now after this sidebar, right, what I want is maybe a footer. Is that what you want? Yeah, we may require a footer, right, after this sidebar perhaps, right, so that we can style it more properly, because we want flexibility also. Flexibility has to be there. Section has to be in the div. Aside has to be in the div. And I'll say footer is going to be outside this div. So now we have footer tag as well. So it's not going to do anything with the layout still, but yeah, since you want it, right, you require it, so you need to have it, right? Okay, now so now you may require some articles here. We already know we may require many articles here, but yeah, let us first do one thing. Let us go and style it. So section id is equivalent to main section. So this is my MAIN-SEC. So section id is equal to my main section, and I want navigation to be somewhere else. So I will give you a complete different layout today, right, because I want this to be somewhere else. All right, so for that, so let us quickly go and style it. And what else do you require, right? So I don't think we require anything else. Yeah, now we have this, and use little CSS we have used so far. So I will say main section, right, and I have used it. What is the name? Sorry, yeah, it's main section. And we have another thing known as hash sidebar spelling. I don't want to do spelling mistake and jeopardize everything, right? So now we have sidebar. Footer is also there. I would like to do that to footer also. So main section, so let me say width. Hey section, your width is going to be 660 pixels, right? And your margin is going to be 30 pixels around you, right? And let me see, 750 pixels maybe, or maybe 710. I told you the mathematics you have to do, total area, how much you want to give towards the left side and how much you want to give towards the right side. No, I'll use 650 today because I require more area from the right side. All right, and I will say, hey brother, you mind if you float left, right? So now if I give it background red and see, right, so because it's not having height, so let me have height also, right, 300 pixels, just to check, right? So minimum height is going to be 300, and red is also going to be just to check whether everything is working fine or not, right? And this sidebar, now we have to do with sidebar. Sidebar is also going to flow towards left and is going to take the remaining space, which is 650, 70, 80, 90, 700, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 pixels. Right, and it is going to take margin from top, maybe 20 pixels, and let me say 0 pixels from anywhere. I don't want any margins. Right, background is red and minimum height is 300 pixels. So let me see. Background is green. Okay, so this is what I do only to check alignments, right? And I don't intend doing anything else right here. So I'll just delete it and take it inside the sidebar. Taken something else, right? I can see that I've taken something else in the sidebar. I had to delete this, right, and take it inside the sidebar. I ended up taking something else, right? Alright, now sidebar, because will not take these properties because my sidebar is already now inside the div tag. So I'll have to do many different changes right here, which is I don't want, because it's a flexible model, I don't want my sidebar, right, to float towards left, right. So I don't want this to float towards left, and I don't want to keep it, I want to give it flexibility as well. I'll be doing opposite of what we did the last time, right? And the second thing I want to do with my main section, I say main section doesn't flow towards left, but yeah, I will say, hey, right, I have created this div right here, right? So this is the div that I have created so far, right? And you can take this, or I can even say sidebar. So like I can directly take let me take this sidebar inside this div. Now what I want to do opposite of what we did. Alright, so now let me go to sidebar and say that first I'll go and style my content div. Maybe, who knows? Right, so I'll say hash content div is going to be display. Right, so I'll say dash webkit dash box, right? So I'm going to display it as webkit box, and I say dash webkit dash box dash orientation, which is hori. So I'll say hori, ZONTAL, horizontal, right? And let me see. Yeah, now you can see now this is coming from this side. The moment I said horizontal, it's coming from this side. Now I want this sidebar to be flexible. I don't want, now earlier we made this flexible and this was not. Now I'll make this flexible and this not, right? So this is the rule of the day. Maybe we can help it. So I can say dash webkit dash flex box, right? And I will say once set it true. Now then, once we set it true, it's not working now because it is not flexible. Flexible is this one. So what if I come from this side? Okay, so now flexibility is not working. So let me see. Okay, content div sidebar is going to be flexible. Webkit dash box flex is equivalent to true. So that's not a problem. And our content div is displaying it horizontal. So that is still not a problem. Alright, and now okay, in order for this to be flexible, right, okay, let me keep both flexible right here. Content and sidebar both are flexible. So let me see what is happening now. If yeah, it is flexible. Only the text inside it is flexible. But yeah, you can see, yeah, it is doing, flexibility is there. So this is also flexible, but yeah, it is moving here and there, right? So what I want at the end of the day, I want this to come, what actual design is, whenever you stretch it, right, or whenever you minimize it, or you shrink the design, right, so one should be fixed and another, it should come here. Let me try what we did the previous time. We said that what our main section is going to do, alright, I gave my main section flexibility. So I took it away from sidebar and I gave my main section flexibility. and that gave us more flexibility. Now you can see the section is there where it was, and the main section gets flexibility, right? And the second thing we did was main section was flexible, right? And div is displaying content horizontally, and div is also flexible. Why would I keep my content div flexible? No, I don't need to keep it flexible. Alright, so now you can see, okay, now this is stable and this is flexible. Now if I change it, I want my sidebar to be flexible, and that's the only thing I want today. That's it. Now if I want my sidebar to be flexible, right, and now you can see, no, it's not happening to the sidebar. Okay, it's not happening to sidebar. The flexibility should be there to the sidebar. Maybe it is having the width. Yeah, that's the problem. No, but width is there also, right? So that is also there. All right, so I don't have to give width to sidebar then. If I want this to be flexible, maybe, who knows? All right, so now if I say, yeah, you see the flexibility is there, but it's not doing too much, right? So I will say my sidebar is not going to have height. It is going to be flexible. So let me see. Yeah, now another property changed. Fine, so it is applying flexibility, but yeah, since this is fixed, so it is overriding. Flexibility will be applied till here. So flexibility is already done, but it will not be visible. In our case, the flexibility is not visible from here. So what I'll do, I'll say, hey, main section, you mind if you be flexible? Okay, and now my main section gets flexible. Now because it is flexible, it's now you can see, right, it's displayed. Now even if I do it from this side, so okay, let it be, so we don't mind it, right? So instead, what are we going to do with the sidebar? Right, so sidebar is going to take the complete area, perhaps whatever is available. So I'll say max width 200 pixels. For example, if I say maximum width 200 pixels, so it is going to take 200 pixels. So I'll say 60%. I want you to take only 60% of the available area. Now it's taking 60% of the available area, but still there's no flexibility. Alright, or maybe I'll say take 80% of the available area, alright, or maybe 100%, take 100%, right, so it's taking 100%. Now let us see about the flexibility. Right, now you can see, yeah, it's flexible model, right, so this is going and this remains by itself there. Right, so let me get rid of this now. Green is not required, and background red is not required also. So now we have something here and something here. And now let me say border 1 pixel. So I'll have to create a solid border now, right? And I want it to be solid, or I can say something like this. I can say background. So let me copy. I had some background picture right here. Okay, I'll keep this because it's squared, so I would want my this thing to be squared. So I'll say text. The image name is text. I'll quickly copy to imgs, and what I can say background. So I am setting the background now. So instead of anything, we are setting the background color, which is the background image, and I'll set this text.jpg. So let me see the impact. Right, so it's coming here, so no problem. Not in the main section, but in the sidebar. Right, so I'll set it to the sidebar, and now you can see that the image is repeating. Now if I, where do you go? Okay, there's no terminator here, sorry. Right, now you can see it is not coming up to the mark, right? So I can say no repeat. I don't want to repeat, and I'll say background size. Where is size? Right, so I will say background size automatic, so it's going to shrunk, right? And let me do sidebar margin right 10 pixels. You are taking too much of space, brother. Now you can clearly see it has come here, right? And I don't want it to be here. Say 30 pixels margin right. So now you can see it's clearly here. Now you can write over this, but I don't want to write over this, right? So I'll just delete it. It was just to see things, right? Oh, what have I deleted? Okay, once I have deleted this, now it has gone. I don't know what happened. Okay, we have margin right. Let me keep 10 pixels. Background size is auto. Maximum width is 100%. If I say width is 100%, so it is going to come. But it's image which is taking it somewhere else, maybe. Okay, images it's going out here. Margin right is 10 pixels, margin 20 pixels, and 0 pixels width. Okay, let me not have width here. Still it's going. I don't know. If I have text HE and then it comes, what makes it go? It's completely going somewhere. Background size auto, still it's going. Maximum width 100, still it's going. Okay, background size is going to be 100%. Maybe that's the wrong thing we are doing. Still it's not going to give us. Why? It requires too much of text then? Yeah, because it has to be, because it is the flexible thing that we have kept, right? So because the flexible property is true, so that is why the problem is coming right here. So let me get rid of all this now. Alright, so let me go ahead with img src and let me go and browse this image and use this image. Right, because it's flexible unless it has, now you can see unless it has data in it, so it's not going to take that flexible property as true. It's not going to make it, right? So now we have the text here. It requires flexible, flexibilities as per the data you give it, right? So that's why we are getting problem here. So now we have this maximum width is 100%, and I can target now image. I can directly target the image. I can say, hey, image. So let me take a look at time. So designing takes good amount of time. So let me go with 1 hour today. Okay. So I'll quickly say that sidebar and image inside the sidebar is going to have width of let's say about 90%. Right. So the moment I say 90%, it's going to reduce a bit. Right, and it's not going to be margin right 10 pixels, so I don't want it. Right, and margin is going to be 20 pixels from the top. That's no margin, right? Okay, so it's going to take the complete area which is available. Fine, it has taken, since it has taken the complete area available, so I don't have any problem with that. Okay. Image is going to have 80%. Okay, then I feel like 90% would suffice. Yeah, 90% is quite good. Okay. Now a new property that I want you guys to learn today is the box shadow. Alright, so we are going to learn box shadow today. So I will say, hey image, I want you, now you can see, I will say, hey image, I want you to take this, right? Dash WebKit dash box dash shadow. I'll be giving box shadow, and it takes RGB, right? So red, green, blue. So I'll give let's say about gray 110, 110, 110. So this is the mixture. R, first one is red, then green, then blue, RGB color. And then how much do you want? I will say 10 pixels, the offset, right, and 10 pixels. So it's just going to show you from the corners how much do you want. Right, so then I have given RGB, and we take RGB 100 10 pixels. So RGB, if I use this A property right here, will it work? So it's not working. Okay, so let me try again. WebKit dash, yeah, I have to give, basically what I have to give more is 10 pixels. No, it should work. let me have RGB, and I'll say 10 pixels. Okay, I'm not using pixels here. Pixels, pixels, pixels. Okay, now let me see. Now you can see the shadow around the image. It has given it a very nice look, right? If you want to increase from the other side, so you can even say not 110 here, from all four sides you can say 10 pixels offset from top also. Now you can see from all four sides. So now I don't want this much, so I say it's too much, so I'll say 8 pixels, and I will say 7 pixels and offset of 10 pixel. Now you can see slide. Now if I zoom it, now you can clearly see the shadow. The image is having box shadow, right? Clearly the image is having box shadow right here, right? And this is what we are going to rely upon. I don't want it to be from all the four corners. If you want, then you can just say 7 pixels and 7 pixels. Now you can see it's coming from all four corners. So if you want from all four corners, so what works for me is 5 pixels, 6 pixels, 5 pixels, and 5 pixels. So this one is top and then bottom, right and left, right? So now it is given us a very nice shape, right? So do not overdo, right? So overdoing is still going to be a problem for you. Now reduce it unless it fits to your liking, right? So overdoing is going to cause some problems. So I'll say 3 pixels, 3 pixels, 3 pixels. Yeah, it's still reduced. I would like to reduce this and increase height. Okay, no, 7 pixels is going to be too much, so let's make 4 pixels. Okay, so I suppose this is now good. So let me fix and finalize on 3 pixels each. Yeah, now slightly, you can see that I've tried to give box shadow here, and I was able to generate that box shadow, and this is very good property here. Alright, and now where do you want logo? Do you want logo here? No, that's what is the different design then if I do what you want me to do, if I do exactly what I had to do rather, right? Because we're using this flexible model, so we should take use of this flexible model here. So now what I do, I will change this right here to make a full view design. I'll go to my wrapper and I will say maximum width is equal to 100%. Now let's see what happens. Now it is going to take whatever width is available. Now this is maximum width which is available, right? And now when you go, you can see image is also decreased at the end, right? So I'll tell you how to do it later on. Right, so this one is flexible from here. So now I have changed it to 100%, and I don't want too much of space from top, right? And I say, hey wrapper, you take your margin automatically, no tops. Okay, now you can see it has merged with this. Now see the magic. Now I'll go to my main section, and you know that the section can have header. I don't have to tell you, and it can have a footer, right? So a section can have a header or maybe a footer, or a section can have an article can have a header, and article can have a footer. But what I do here, I will use header tag here, and I call this header ID logo. So I am going to use it for my logo, and now you can see I will say IMGSRC, right, and I'll choose logo trans here. So I just use transparent logo. Now you can see it's come all over the place, so I'll have to do this. I'll go this. I'm targeting the logo div and an image inside the logo div. I will say that you got to take maximum width of 100 pixels. I'm not going to allow more than. Now see where this logo has come right here, right, exactly where it had to be, right? Now because my content div, right, is basically sorry, not my content div, my sidebar is actually flexible. All right, so now what if I make, yeah, it's flexible. So what I do right here, I will say that this is the section, main section. All right, so where have I styled this main section? Width 650. I'll say background red. Just me see the alignment. Just see the alignment. Yeah, it's absolutely at the right place. All right, and there's good amount of space here also. I can mind padding of 10 pixels right here, so I don't. Yeah, fine. Now this is your logo, right? And what I want here, right, I want my header. Now see that how we can do different things with this. I can say border dash bottom, right, 1 pixel, and I will choose a color, and this is the color that your website will be based on, completely based on the color that you're choosing here. So 1 pixel solid. So I will not choose 1 pixels, I'll keep it 3 pixels today. I'll say why, because I am doing border bottom. Now you can see that the border bottom has come here. Has it? Yes. So I will say margin 30 pixels. Right, now you can see where the logo is coming. No, why did I say margin? Oh my god. So I'll say padding of 20 pixels. Right, now you can see that it has taken padding, and you can see this also coming, or maybe I'll increase it to 40 pixels. Alright, now why have I increased padding? Sorry, 4 pixels border bottom. Now it's fine. Alright, so I will say maximum, or we can say max dash width. So I'll give maximum width of 30 pixels. Alright, 130 pixels. Now maybe 130 is too much, so I'll say 90 pixels. Maybe 90 pixels is too much, so I will say fix it on 60 pixels. I don't want. Yeah. Now margin left 20 pixels, perhaps. Right, so it's working. Margin left 20 pixels. Fine, so it does not have any problem. Okay, now let's go. Now this is my header. Right, and you can see image is not this is not coming at the place we want it to come, right? So for that, what I will do right here, so I will define an I, or I can go ahead and define a div tag right here, right? And I can just say, right, inside header I have a div tag, right? So I will say go to div and do this to div instead of doing it to something else. Now it has gone to its own place. Right, so I'll just get rid of padding. Alright, now you can see maybe padding is going to be 10 pixels. Right, so it has done. Okay, now it's fine. So I will say padding dash top only 10 pixels. Right, so I suppose it's good. And maximum width is going to be 90 pixels now, because padding has been removed, and margin left is not going to be anything, excuse me, and padding top is going to be 30 pixels. Now this area is going to decide your website color now, right? I just given an underline here so that it is going to, now if you have just used this color right here, so it matters now, and it is up to you, and it should be there, right? You use this color somewhere here and somewhere here, not overdo it. Just use the color somewhere here or somewhere here, and then you can immediately see the difference, right? And to see that immediate difference, what will I do right here inside the main header? So now this is my main header, right? And this is my top header, right? And I can just call this top header, right? And I've already called this, right? So this is my top head, right? And I'll say, hey, top head is going to take the alignment, right? And I want you to be horizontal, right? I want you to align whatever is with you horizontally, right? So I will use this horizontal and see the impact, right? So now it has a header, right? So I'll say main section has header, right? And I want that header to be color red, all right? And because it is not going to be of color red, it has nothing. So if I keep something, then and only then you will see that. Top header dash header. So why am I targeting main section again? I don't get it. I'm doing it absolutely wrong. I have to target top header and I'm targeting main header, right? So this is top header, horizontal, right. So now this is here. You're having it here, right? And this is your top header. I'll say background red, right? And I can say that you need to be flexible. I want you to be flexible, and the moment I say it needs to be flexible, it is going to take whatever area is given to him. It's going to take the entire area, right here. You can see it has taken the entire area. I don't want that, right? So what I want this header to be, let's say aside. Let's not use header here. Let's use aside, and let's use aside. So we are using two asides, right? So id is equivalent to, or we can say class is equivalent to, right, head, or we can say top sidebar left, and I can use the class here, right? Class is equivalent to top sidebar right. Is that right? You will say yes sir, it is right. Okay, there are two now. We have two asides perhaps right now. Now I can say that header, right? It's not the header now. It is dot. We have top sidebar left, and we have top sidebar inside top header now. So I'll again say the same, top sidebar left. It's still going to take entire area, we know that. But yeah, the moment I say that, right, what you need to do is you need to fix something right here. So this is not flexible. The second one is not flexible. It is going to be blue. So it is going to have a width of 300 pixels. So it is not flexible. Now you can see blue is there and blue is not flexible. So I'll use maximum width 300 pixels. Now you can see blue has used maximum width 300 pixels. Alright, and if I say vertical alignment, sorry, I am doing it somewhere wrong. Why don't I take it here? Okay, so let me take it here, right? So this is sidebar left, which is flexible, or let me just get rid of this flexible property right here. So I'll say width is equal to 300 pixels. Let me keep both 300 pixels, right? So now this is blue, this is 300 pixels, and this is sidebar left, it is 300 pixels, right? And it is going to be flexible, all right? And I will have to use another property right here. Just a moment. Just a moment. So I'll have to use another property. Okay, that I used with the main section. Why it has gone? No, I have not used anything wrong. Where is red? So top sidebar left. Okay, both are blue or maybe red. So I'll say it's red. Okay, the red is not coming. So I'll say maximum width is equal to, I'll say width is equal to 300 pixels. So it's coming. And I'll go with this top sidebar. Okay, I'm targeting left. Okay, right. I have to use right and left. Yeah, sorry. So now this right is flexible. It's going to take the entire available area, right? And it is not going to have any width of 300 pixels. So let me take it. So red has to take available area, and blue, no, I'm doing it wrong perhaps. Both are red. I'm not sure what is happening. One is blue, right? So let me keep one blue and one red. So the moment I said red is going to have maximum width of 300 pixels. I gave it 300 pixels. I don't have any problem, and I'll say you are going to have maximum width of 300 pixels. Alright, so now if I take this away and keep the blue top sidebar right, so it is not coming. So background blue, I'll just get rid of this maximum width. I will use height is going to be inherit. Please inherit your height. Yeah, if you have inherited the height, and I'll say your width is going to be 300 pixels, right? Why isn't blue coming then? So let me see this. Top sidebar left, and then we have a side closing, and then top sidebar right. Both are classes and both have been applied. Top sidebar right. So let me again say this. Top sidebar right. I want you to come towards the right hand side. Height is inherited. Width is 300 pixels. Background is blue. No, so let me say height 200 pixels maybe. It's still not coming. So that is the problem. Okay, so let me see this here. So this is class top sidebar left. You can see the color has changed. Color has not changed here. Yeah, why am I closing it before starting it? Oh my god. Now see what we do. Closing it at the time when we had to start. Now, yeah, it's coming. Everything was perfect. We didn't have to do anything, right? I don't know why. Yeah, now you can go with right, and you can go with left, right? So now it's absolutely right. You can keep that flexible true, right? And you can use the background as red, right? So I've taken too much of time today, right? So, but yeah. So background is red, and I will say maximum width is going to be 400 pixels, right? So this is going to be my red. Maximum width is 400, or let me give 400 width. That is top. Look what I do. I am just retarded now. Top head. I'm exhausted. Now it's coming. Yeah, I was doing something that I have no idea about. Maybe my brain is completely drained, right? So now, yeah, maybe you have also learned. Now I want this to be fixed, and I want this to be flexible. Which one do you want to be flexible? I want this blue one to be flexible. Now it's going to take the entire area. That's it. As simple as anything. And why was I taking too much of time? So let me keep it 500 pixels is what I want fixed, right? Now why would you want to have width here? You want it to automatically take it, and here I want 500 pixels here, and that's it. Now you can see this is 500 and this width is automatically taken. So do you require any background? No, I don't want any background color. It was just to show you guys. Alright, and now you can see that this will be very much, because we're setting up the layout. We set up layout from here. Now menu is going to come here, and then the remaining menu here, articles are going to come here, and then we are going to have different sections of the website, one after another box layouts, right? And for that, I'll show you some gradients and some different layouts again, and yeah, do practice this very hard. And yeah, this layouts, once you're familiar with layouts, and then everything is going to fall under place, right? Please practice layouts, as layouts are more important, right, for you guys. And before we move to, you can say, now this website will perfectly work with the tablet version, right? But yeah, still, I'll show you the drawbacks, and then I'll show you how to use media queries so that one after another falls. Alright, so wish you all the best, because I've taken already 1 hour 9 minutes, so it's too much. So I wish you all the best. Do practice. And